So, if you're watching this, I'm guessing you've got a massive goal to crack the IIT JEE. One of the toughest entrance exams in the entire world. Well, you've come to exactly the right place. In this explainer, we are going to build a roadmap just for you. And we're going to do it by combining a proven step-by-step strategy with the incredible true story of someone who literally started from zero and still made it to her dream college.
Okay, first things first, let's get real about the numbers. Every single year, about 1.5 million students take the JEE exam. And out of that huge crowd, only about 7,000 get into the top IITs. Now, that's less than 0.5%. I'm not telling you this to freak you out. I'm telling you this so you know precisely what the challenge is.
But here's the most important thing you need to hear. Those 7,000 seats, they aren't just for kids with perfect head starts. Meet Maya. She came from a family so poor they lived in a mud house, a home where, as she says, people wouldn't even feel comfortable asking for a glass of water. Her story is the ultimate proof that where you start has absolutely nothing to do with where you can finish.
So, let's dive into step one. And no, this isn't about cracking open a textbook just yet. It's all about your mindset. It's about seeing the IIT not just as some exam you have to pass, but as a truly life-changing dream that deserves your total commitment, starting today. Let's be honest with each other, we all know this journey is ridiculously hard. I mean, it's a 2-year marathon of nonstop work. But as top IIT coach Rohit Nagar always says, and as Maya's life proves, the future, the respect, and the opportunities waiting for you at the finish line make every single second of that struggle completely worth it.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Section 2 is all about building your foundation. And let me be clear, the beginning of Class 11 is the single most important period of this entire journey. If you get this part right, you are set up for success. But a weak start here, that can haunt you for the next 2 years. To really nail this foundation, Coach Rohit Nagar says you gotta focus on 3 rights. First up, the right aim. Don't just vaguely aim for JEE. No, aim for JEE Advanced and pick a specific IIT, like IIT Bombay. Know the exact score you need. Second, the right mode. Choose one path, online or offline coaching, and give it 200%. No jumping around. And third, the right strategy. Download that syllabus, make a detailed plan, and figure out the most important, high-weightage chapters from day one. But look, a perfect strategy on paper is completely useless without pure grit. While you're busy setting up your perfect study schedule, just take a second and think about Maya. She was leaving her house at 6 a.m., walking 6 kilometers to school in the bitter cold, and then studying by the light of a chimney because her family couldn't afford electricity. That is the kind of fire that makes a strategy actually work.
Now, we need to talk about the part where most people fall off, the middle of the journey. This usually hits around mid-Class 11. The initial excitement has worn off, the syllabus is piling up like crazy, and you start to feel totally and completely overwhelmed. This moment right here, this is your biggest test.
We have to talk about this because I promise you, every single student feels this at some point. That voice that just creeps into your head, I can't do this. It's just too hard. So what do you do when that voice gets really, really loud?
First thing you need to know is this. You are not alone. These hurdles you see on the screen, they're totally normal. Your backlogs feel impossible. You've already forgotten stuff you learned just a few months ago. You feel like everyone around you is just smarter and faster. This isn't a sign you're failing. It's just a standard part of the marathon.
This right here was Maya's breaking point. At her coaching center, she was put in the toppers batch, and she was surrounded by students who just seemed to be on another level. The pressure totally crushed her. She called her dad, completely broken, and said those exact words. "Papa, I can't do this. I've become a zero here."
But what happened next? Well, that's the most critical part of this whole story. Her father didn't let her quit. He told her to just keep fighting. And in that moment of total despair, Maya made a promise to herself. She would never, ever give up because of her studies again. That one single decision, it changed everything. And you know what? That decision brings us right to the final breakthrough. You've survived the middle. You've made it through the fire. Now it's time to accelerate and sprint to the finish line. This is where 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears get turned into a rank. So here's the game plan from Coach Rohit. In the middle of Class 12, you're going to live by the 70-30 rule. 70% of your time on new Class 12 topics, 30% revising Class 11. Got it? Then, from November to January, it is all-out revision mode.
That means solving 15 to 20 years of past papers, taking timed 3-hour mock tests, and analyzing every single mistake you make. Every single one. No shortcuts.
And if you follow that plan, you will get to your own result day. For Maya, this was it, the moment of truth. Her entire family all crowded around a single laptop. They were using a borrowed internet dongle with probably just enough data to load one single page. Can you even imagine the tension in that little room?
So, they entered her roll number, they clicked submit, and the page loaded. As she remembers it, something was written in English on the screen. But in that moment, they couldn't immediately figure out what it meant. Just think about that. Years of work hanging in the balance, and you're just staring at words on a screen.
But then, they noticed one simple thing. They couldn't read the words, but they saw the color. She remembers, and it was written in green. And they knew that the year before, when she hadn't qualified, the message was in red. Red meant fail, but green meant hope.
And in that single instant, nothing else mattered. They hadn't seen the rank yet. They hadn't seen the score. All that mattered was that one beautiful realization: we passed. Just think about that journey. From a mud house and a chimney lamp to that green text on a borrowed laptop. That is what perseverance looks like.
So after all of this, the strategy from the coach, the struggle, and the triumph from Maya, what is the single most important lesson for you to take away as you start this journey?
It's this, a simple truth from Coach Rohit. This is a complete marathon, not a sprint. You don't win this thing by studying 12 hours a day for 2 months and then completely burning out. You win it by being the person who just shows up, consistently, day in and day out for 2 full years.
Look, thousands and thousands of students are going to watch videos just like this one. They're all going to make amazing plans. But the top 1% who actually get into an IIT, they aren't the ones with the fanciest plan. They're the ones who actually execute that plan. And even more importantly, they are the ones who refuse to give up when things get tough. It's always about execution and resilience. That's what separates the best from the rest.
And Maya's journey leaves us with this final, powerful thought. If you desire something with all your heart, the entire universe conspires to help you achieve it. Her story is living proof of that. Your passion, your burning desire to make it to an IIT, that is your greatest superpower.
So you have the roadmap. You've seen what's possible, even when the odds feel impossible. The only question left, the only one that really matters now, is the one on your screen. What will your story be?